A mixed martial arts. It began as a question, which fighting style would triumph in a no-rules fight? In 1993, the Ultimate Fighting Championship tried to answer that question. What followed wasn't just a tournament, it was a revelation. MMA emerged as a crucible. Jui Jitsu strangled karate. Wrestling smothered kung fu. Muay Thai punished everything in between. Over time, fighters had to adapt or vanish. And so a new art was born. Not a style, but a synthesis. Today, MMA is the world's most complete combat sport. Governed by unified rules and weight classes, it requires cross-training in disciplines like boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and Muay Thai. Fighters must be proficient in every range: striking, clinch, takedown, ground. It's brutal, technical, ruthlessly honest. In the cage, there is no room for tradition, only truth. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it wins. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu rose from the mats of Rio to the main events of Vegas. Adapted from Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and Kodokan Judo, it was refined by the Gracie family in the early 20th century. BJJ turned the fight world on its head by proving that size and strength could be irrelevant. It's the art of patience, of angles, of leverage, joint locks, chokes, position before submission, ground fighting that turns chaos into strategy. Its belt system ranks from white to black, often taking a decade to master. In a world obsessed with dominance, BJJ taught the power of yielding and the precision of control. Muay Thai. There is no elegance in the clinch, no mercy in an elbow, no forgiveness in the shin. Muay Thai, the art of 8 limbs, forged in the heat of Thailand's battlefield traditions, is one of the most punishing striking arts on earth. Fists, elbows, knees, and shins become weapons through repetition, pain, and discipline. Rooted in Muay Boran and formalized under King Rama VII in the 20th century, it evolved into a national sport. Fighters wear mongkon headbands, offer Wai-Kru dances to honor teachers. But once the bell rings, violence. It's more than just damage. It's rhythm, posture, respect. In Muay Thai, the body is both blade and armor. Karate. Before there were cages and crowds, there were dojos and silence. Karate was born in Okinawa, shaped by Chinese Kenpo influence, refined through Japanese discipline after its integration into mainland Japan in the early 20th century. It's a striking art of form and philosophy: kicks, punches, open hands; kata, the ritualized dance of combat; kumite, the clash. It includes styles like Shotokan, Goju Ryu, and Kyokushin. The belt system taught generations the progression of skill and spirit. But beyond the techniques, it was always about something more: respect, self-control, character. In a noisy world, karate remains a quiet pursuit of perfection. Taekwondo. Spinning kicks, breaking boards, Olympic lights. Taekwondo exploded from Korea into global consciousness after the Korean War, combining native Taekyon with Japanese karate influences. Officially founded in 1955, it spread globally through the Korea Taekwondo Association and later became an Olympic sport in 2000. It's the art of flight, where legs are trained to snap like whips and the body becomes a coil of potential energy. Famous for its 540-degree spinning kicks and emphasis on point-based sparring, it was built as both a sport and a philosophy, a bridge between physical excellence and inner harmony. For many, it's their first martial art. For others, it's a lifelong pursuit of airborne mastery. Taekwondo doesn't walk, it soars. Boxing. They call it the sweet science, but it hurts. Boxing is ancient, timeless. From Greek pancratian to bare-knuckle prize fighting to the gloved modern era governed by the Marquis of Queensberry rules. It's a sport stripped bare: 2 fists, 1 ring, and a test of will. Footwork, head movement, jab, cross, hook, every inch matters. The best aren't just punchers, they're tacticians, artists, survivors. With governing bodies like WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO, boxing has created global icons, from Muhammad Ali to Tyson Fury. Boxers don't just fight opponents, they fight gravity, fatigue, and their own breaking points. And when they win, they do it 1 round at a time. Boxing doesn't need kicks, it doesn't need weapons, it just needs heart. Krav Maga. No rules, no tournaments, no second chances. Krav Maga was born in conflict, developed by Imi Lichtenfeld for the Israeli Defense Forces in the 1940s. It's not a martial art in the traditional sense. It's a system, a reaction, a way to stay alive. Eye pokes, throat strikes, gun disarms, knife defense. Techniques are designed for military, law enforcement, and civilians alike. There are no belts, no kata, no rituals, only instincts drilled until they become reflex. Krav Maga isn't about honor, it's about ending violence before it ends you. Judo. Before BJJ, before MMA, there was Judo. Jigoro Kano's Art of the Gentle Way changed the face of combat in 1882. It wasn't just about throws, it was about principles. Maximum efficiency, minimum effort. Technique over brute force. Recognized as an Olympic sport since 1964, Judo emphasizes Najiwaza, throwing techniques, Nawaza, ground techniques, and Kuzushi, balance breaking. Colored belts indicate progress through a ranking system. In Judo, one well-timed grip, one hip turn, one perfect moment can end a match. Athletes fly through the air with breathtaking grace and devastating finality. It laid the groundwork for modern grappling, and for over a century, it has remained a test of both skill and serenity. Wing Chun. It begins at arm's length, ends at the center line. Wing Chun, developed in southern China during the Qing dynasty, is a martial art of angles and economy. Legend credits a Shaolin nun named Ung Mui with its creation. It doesn't waste time or movement. It intercepts, redirects, strikes through, not around. Popularized by IP Man and immortalized through Bruce Lee, Wing Chun lives in tight spaces, hallways, stairwells, inches from violence. Its core principles include simultaneous attack and defense, centerline theory, and structural integrity. Its chain punches overwhelm, its footwork traps. In a fight, there's no need to chase chaos. Wing Chun brings the storm to stillness. Capoeira. To survive, they had to disguise war as dance. Capoeira was born in bondage, created by African slaves in Brazil during the 16th century who masked their training in music and motion. It is rhythm, resistance, rebellion, the ginga, the flow, kicks like arcs, movements inverted, cartwheeled, spun. Capoeira is improvisation with consequence. Traditional rotas, circles, are led by the berimbau, an instrument dictating tempo and spirit. It is one of the few martial arts where a smile might precede a strike, and where expression is as vital as effectiveness. Capoeira doesn't just fight, it remembers. Systema. No belts, no forms, no ego. Systema emerged from Russian military tradition, a fluid, instinctive martial art built not on showmanship, but survival. It was formally introduced in the 1990s by Mikhail Ryabko, a former Russian Special Forces operative, though its roots stretch back to medieval Slavic combat systems. Movements are calm, disarming, efficient. Training emphasizes biomechanics, breathing, and relaxation. It integrates hand-to-hand combat, weapon defense, striking, joint manipulation, and psychological conditioning. There's no choreography, only adaptation, no aggression, only resolve. In Systema, every movement is practical and every breath is tactical. Tai Chi. Stillness moves, softness strikes. Tai Chi, short for Tai Chi Quan, originated in 17th century China, traditionally attributed to Chen Wangting of the Chen family village in Henan province. It evolved from earlier internal martial systems and incorporates Taoist philosophy. The slow, deliberate motions conceal martial roots. Each step a redirection, each hand a deflection. Styles like Chen, Yang, Wu, and Sun differ in tempo and technique, but share a common focus: cultivate Qi, or internal energy. It trains balance, breath, internal power. Forms, push hands, and energy sensitivity drills develop both defense and awareness. It's a healing art, a spiritual one. But beneath the calm is structure, a quiet force. Tai Chi doesn't resist, it flows, and in its flow, it endures. Sambo. From the cold front lines of Russia came a hybrid for the modern warrior. Sambo, short for Samozashchita bez oruzhia, self-defense without weapons, was developed in the 1920s by Viktor Spiridonov and Vasily Oshchepkov. It fused judo with indigenous Russian and Central Asian wrestling styles. Combat Sambo allows strikes, headgear, and gloves, making it closer to MMA. Sports Sambo focuses on throws, pins, and submissions, similar to judo but with a distinct rule set. Techniques emphasize off-balancing, dynamic leg locks, and control. It produced legends like Fedor Emelianenko, whose stoic devastation made Sambo a feared name in MMA, like Khabib Nurmagomedov, who smothered champions with roots in the mountains and training on Soviet mats. Sambo is nationalism on canvas, power wrapped in simplicity, a system built to conquer. Silat doesn't shout, it whispers with blades. Silat refers to a broad class of martial arts from Southeast Asia, particularly Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, and the southern Philippines. With over 150 recognized styles, it reflects centuries of tribal warfare, Islamic influence, and ritual tradition. Stances are low, movements are coiled. It blends strikes, joint manipulation, throws, sweeps, and an extensive range of weaponry, crisp daggers, sticks, and spears. Some schools emphasize dance-like forms to disguise combat. Others favor direct brutality, often practiced to music like the traditional Gendang Silat drums. It walks the line between combat and performance, concealing lethality behind grace. In Silat, tradition isn't aesthetic, it's camouflage, and every movement is a trick waiting to become a strike. Savate, Paris, cobblestones, street fights with style. Savate, or boxe française, originated in 19th century France. It evolved from Parisian street fighting, influenced by English boxing and the refined kicking techniques of sailors. The name means old boot, a nod to its kicking style using shoes. Practitioners wear specially designed footwear and use precise strikes. Fouette, whip kick. Chasse, piston kick. Reverse, hook kick. It combines elegance and aggression. Kicks are often delivered with the tip of the shoe for maximum control. It emerged from sailors, brawlers, and choreographers. A contradiction. As deadly as it is graceful, Savate was the only kick-based combat sport allowed in the early Olympic Games. Savate doesn't overwhelm, it outmaneuvers. Kyokushin Karate. Kyokushin doesn't pull punches, it walks through them. Founded in 1964 by Masutatsu Oyama, a Korean-Japanese master who tested his style through bare-knuckle bouts and bullfighting exhibitions, Kyokushin means the ultimate truth. It is full-contact karate with no gloves, no headgear, and no retreat. Training includes body conditioning, breaking techniques, tameshiwari, and kumite, sparring, with full-force blows to the body. Its emphasis is not only physical power, but the mental strength to endure. Kyokushin tests not just the body, but the soul. Tournaments like the All Japan Open and the World Open Karate Tournament help spread its global legacy. In a world of padded truths, Kyokushin remains unfiltered, raw, real. Eskrima, arnis. 2 sticks, 1 rhythm, a legacy of blades. From the Philippines comes Eskrima, also known as arnis or kali, officially declared the national martial art of the Philippines in 2009. Its roots trace back centuries, shaped by tribal warfare, Spanish colonization, and guerrilla resistance. Training begins with weapons, rattan sticks, baston, knives, swords. Techniques include strikes, blocks, disarms, locks, and fluid transitions between armed and unarmed combat. Movements are structured in angles, often taught in numbered patterns. Footwork is constant. Angles are king. The same motions translate to armed and unarmed fighting. Its influence can be seen in military training and Hollywood choreography. Eskrima isn't about domination, it's about survival, and the dance between life and edge. Wrestling. No belts, no flash, just control. Wrestling is older than language, etched on cave walls carved into Olympic history. From Sumerian depictions in 3000 BC to the Greek Olympiads, it is the oldest sport known to man. Modern wrestling includes Greco-Roman, upper body only, and freestyle, full body. Techniques include clinch work, takedowns, pins, and escapes. It is the foundation of control in MMA and one of the hardest disciplines to master. It teaches balance, pressure, persistence. Training develops explosive power, endurance, and grip strength unmatched in other combat sports. There are no secrets, just the harder truth of who can impose their will. In every clinch and every lift, wrestling answers the question, who breaks first?